And then there was the hemisphere of the planet. And then I'm like, this is it, found it, it's the Holy Grail. Exactly what I was looking for, all confirmed, with one story. Because that's what I wanted. I didn't want to read about it or watch videos of lights in the sky. I wanted, from the horse's mouth, so to speak, proof that A, they were real, and B, that NASA or the government knew about them. So here it was. And it got about 2/3 of the way down, and there was, I assume it was the Earth. I can't believe it was a colour or monochrome. But clouds, and then this perfectly smooth shell of a craft.
Welcome to Critical Cloud Mass. Gary McKinnon, a British hacker, claimed to have seen evidence of UFOs during his intrusion into NASA's computer networks. In 2001 and 2002, McKinnon allegedly accessed sensitive files and systems of various US government agencies, including NASA.
Saw something as well on your screen, but you didn't have the ability to take a screenshot, I think it was.
Yeah, that was NASA Johnson Space Center, and that was due to the testimony of Donna Hare, the disclosure project leaders.
For people who don't know, Donna Hare worked as I think for Philco Ford, which was a NASA subcontractor in the early 70s, and she has had a lot to say about what she learned through her NASA colleagues.
My name is Donna Hare. During the 70s and 71, I worked in the Building 8 of NASA for a contractor, Philco Ford. I worked in the photo lab, I worked in different areas of the company, on and off site. During the 70s, I walked into the photo lab, one of the restricted areas, and there they developed the film from the moon and satellite pictures. One of the gentlemen I had been friends with, and I still talk to occasionally, he pointed my attention to one area of this mosaic. And I said, this is really interesting. He explained everything, and then he, with a smile on his face, he said, look over there. And I looked, and in one of the photo panels, I saw a round white dot. And at the time, it was very crisp, very sharp lines on it. And I said to him, what is that? Is that a dot on the emulsion? And then he's grinning, and he says, dots on the emulsion don't leave round shadows on the ground. And there was a round shadow at the right angle, at the correct angle, the sun shining on the trees. I saw pine trees. I looked at him, and I was pretty startled because I'd worked out there several years and never seen anything like this, never heard of anything like this. And I said, is this a UFO? And he's smiling at me, and he says, I can't tell you that. I can't tell you that. What I knew he meant was, it was, but he couldn't tell me. So I said, what are you going to do with this information? And he said, well, we always have to airbrush them out before we sell them to the public. And I was just amazed that they had a protocol in place for getting rid of UFO pictures.
In the retelling of the story, she mentioned which space center it was at, which was Johnson, and which building it was in, which was Building 8.
Oh.
And yeah, I was already on Johnson with the black password scanning method.
Yes.
So I thought, crikey, Building 8, I've got to get onto this.
Keep walking us through this. This is fascinating. You encounter these raw files of 200 megabytes or so, and what do they have on them? What do they show?
It was what looked like fuzzy sort of grey at first, and then there was this lightning haze, and then there was the hemisphere of the planet. And I'm like, this is it, found it, it's the Holy Grail. Exactly what I was looking for, all confirmed, with one story. Because that's what I wanted. I didn't want to read about it or watch videos of lights in the sky. I wanted, from the horse's mouth, so to speak, proof that A, they were real, and B, that NASA or the government knew about them. So here it was. And it got about 2/3 of the way down, and there was, I assume it was the Earth. I can't believe it was a colour or monochrome. But clouds, and then this perfectly smooth shell of a craft. I got to just underneath it, underneath its body. And there were no rivets, no seams. There was no sign of sort of working on this thing. It was weirdly smooth. But it did have these, like the golf ball domes, the geodesic domes for communications, like radar installations, which is kind of human, above and below. And
So these were on the craft, these domes type
Yeah.
structures?
Yeah. So obviously
There's no possibility, I mean, I'm just having to ask this, that what you were seeing was an actual known satellite constructed by any nation? Is this something?
No, I've been into space as a child, so I was into just space in general when I was a little lad, airfix, astronauts and stuff like that. I've seen a lot of satellites, well, a lot of satellite photos, and it was nothing like that, nothing like anything. But I saw, more than half the picture.
So someone actually saw this happening and they disconnected?
Oh yeah, yeah.
The US government sought his extradition, accusing him of causing extensive damage to their computer systems. Ultimately, McKinnon's extradition was blocked by the UK government due to his health concerns. Despite his assertions, no concrete evidence supporting his UFO claims has been independently verified or made public. The incident surrounding Gary McKinnon's hacking and alleged UFO discoveries continues to generate interest and speculation among enthusiasts of the extraterrestrial.
Another big question category was about transparency and about sharing information. And so examples in this category are, what is NASA hiding and where are you hiding it? How much has been shared publicly? Has NASA ever cut the live NASA TV feed away from something? Has NASA released all UAP evidence it has ever received? What about NASA astronauts? Do they have an NDA or clearance that does not allow them to speak about UAP sightings?
On Wednesday, May 31st, 2023, NASA held the very first public meeting on UAPs, better known as UFOs. Ultimately, NASA said it had no evidence of extraterrestrial life or anomalous craft. They also denied any attempts in hiding such information from the public, which contradicts both Gary McKinnon and Donna Hare.
Really want to assure the public and to double down on some remarks I made this morning that this agency is absolutely cast iron committed to openness and transparency and honesty. And that commitment also extends to our live NASA TV feeds. They provide real-time footage. But again, I wanted to reassure the public that we're absolutely committed to providing the public transparency and openness. Those are the hallmarks of NASA. That's why we're here today in public on TV, because we want the public to have the opportunity to see the process of this committee doing its work in public. It's only right.
Up on what I said, I didn't mean to joke about it, but in my 20 years at NASA, no one, either officially or unofficially, in my recollection, have ever discussed or briefed us or had any kind of discussions about anything that would be considered a UAP or UFO or anything like that.
What is the true reality behind NASA's origins and their possible motivation for keeping UFOs a secret from the public?